In this video, we introduce you to a Sainsbury's branch that would mark several changes which would alter the way customers would purchase food forever. The branch at 911 London Road in Croydon. Sainsbury's company founder John James Sainsbury opened his first shop outside London at 6, later 11, London Road, Croydon in 1882. John James was attracted to Croydon by its rapid expansion. The town's population had increased from about 6,000 in 1801 to over 20,000 in 1851 and to nearly 80,000 in 1881, making it into the largest suburban town in the neighbourhood of London. In 1883, Edward Walford attributed this phenomenal growth to the greatest facilities afforded by the railways. From Croydon's 11 railway stations, some 400 trains operated by 4 different companies ran daily to and from London. Sainsbury's new shop was opposite West Croydon Station, one of the busiest in the town. The shop was converted into a model branch with every modern convenience, including good lighting, marble counters, and colourful wall tiles. John James personally selected the tiles for the walls and counters and the mosaic for the floor. These were predominantly in the rich browns and greens which were fashionable at the time. At the end of the shop, a specially designed mahogany screen was erected. This served as a partition between the sales area and the manager's office and cash desk. The windows were decorated with stained glass spandrels depicting game birds and hares, while upon the shop front of rich marble granite were carved the words, "Daily arrivals of pure butter." Above this, in even larger gilded letters, were the name Jane Sainsbury. The expense John James paid out for all of this was for 2 reasons. Firstly, to make shopping at Sainsbury's a real experience, and secondly, to make the environment in the branches cool in the days of pre-refrigeration, and also hygienic, as they were easier to keep clean and kept mice and rats away. In addition to the decorations, John James also stocked a far greater product range than at any previous Sainsbury's shop. An 1894 advertisement for the shop describes the tremendous array of goods on offer. Among the cheeses available were Stilton's, Gorgonzola's, Gold Medal Gruyere, specially imported Canadian cheddar, Camembert, Roquefort, and Port de Salut. In fact, Sainsbury's claimed to be the only house in Surrey to stock so many cream cheeses. The first shop proved so popular that just 2 years later, John James Sainsbury opened a pork butcher's shop at 36 London Road, and in 1886, a specialist poultry and game shop at number 17. The experiments in decor and product range for the Croydon branch set Sainsbury's apart from the other rivals of the time, such as Lipton, Home and Colonial, and Maple Dairies, which sold only a limited range of products, and whose shops were intended to appeal solely to the working classes. Therefore, the initiative started at the Croydon model shop, where it eventually rolled out to all new branches. 68 years later, the original Croydon branch was once again completely refurbished in order for it to become Sainsbury's, and indeed the UK's, first purpose-built self-service branch, when it opened on the 26th of June 1950. Prior to this, few retailers, most notably the London Cooperative Society, had converted stores to self-service by simply rearranging existing fittings to house a limited range of groceries. However, this was quite different to the complete refurbishment of the 3,300 square feet of the Croydon branch. The Croydon branch was completely refurbished under one of 100 special building licenses offered by the Ministry of Food. These licenses were given to retailers who were prepared to experiment with self-service conversion and share their experiences with other interested parties. The Croydon store required extensive redevelopment as part of the building had traded for over 70 years. Even the newer part of the shop dated back to 1896. The Croydon store incorporated many technical improvements which were to become standard in all new stores. One of the most important of these was fluorescent lighting, which had been developed for use in wartime factories, as it produced a brighter and more evenly distributed light. Another innovation was the use of perspex. During the war, this had been used to make the cockpit covers of aircraft like the Spitfire and Lancaster. In peacetime, it was found to be an ideal and hygienic substitute for glass, as it was clear, light, and easily shaped. The most important technical advancement, however, was the introduction of refrigerated cabinets. And these allowed perishable foods that had previously been kept in open counters to be kept chilled under a simple canopy. We can't underestimate how much of a culture shock for some customers this was. So much so, there was instruction leaflets on how to shop in these new stores. Whilst most customers were pleased with the changes as it allowed customers to shop at their leisure, there was less queuing and much more choice of produce. Self-service was not universally loved. We'd heard a story of a customer who, when told about the new style of shopping, refused to carry their own items and made the shop manager walk around the shop with them, placing items in the basket for them. After trading for the best part of 90 years, the Croydon branch was earmarked for closure. However, the company had one further use for the shop. On the 10th of February 1970, Sainsbury's opened the first decimal shop in Britain, nearly a full year before D-Day itself. The Sainsbury's board made the decision that it would make the perfect shop to trial the new decimal currency before shutting. The branch was replanned to have both a model decimal currency shop, counter service shop and a self-service area in which shopping could be tried out in the new currency. The principal aim behind this shop was to train staff with managers, assistant managers, chief cashiers, and also a new decimal training officer for each shop, getting hands-on experience with using the new money, which they could then take back to their own branch. However, the company were also keen on letting customers try out shopping with the new coins. On March the 3rd, selected groups of shoppers, mainly housewives as they were described at the time, were invited to try out the model shop. Their introduction to decimalisation started with watching a film created for Sainsbury's and presented by TV chef Zena Skinner. The film helped to explain decimal currency and to illustrate how it's used in Sainsbury's store. Zena Skinner looked at how decimal prices are displayed, how items are repriced in the new coinage, and how the use of decimal currency was affected at the till. The film appeals to customers' fears about hidden price inflation and the potential difficulty of shopping using the new money. The decimal shop was open until November 1970, during which over 30,000 shoppers and 1,500 staff walked through its doors to get a preview of what decimal shopping would feel like, and it left the business well prepared for D-Day itself. I couldn't end the story of this branch here, though, and after a brief time as a Wetherspoons and an Argos, it's now back as a Sainsbury's local.